Pristine wet forest that is mauka of where we are. So here we are, Makawao, right? Ho'omaka o Kawao Kele, the starting of the forest. Now, Waokele is another word that we use, a Hawaiian word that we use for the forest. We have Ma'ukele, another word for the forest, which is very dense, and lots of water, very, very much. It is a place when you enter, you feel the veil. You feel it. It's like a membrane. Okay? So this is why we announce ourselves, as I announced myself to everyone here today. And everyone who is here, you are here for a reason. You have come here for a purpose. Because we all share purpose in every space that we are. Just as we were talking about our beloved town, Makawao. So we have to understand that Makawao is not just a place, as was so beautifully, it's mapped out here. It's a place, it's a people, it's a spirit. And when we look traditionally, I'm here to share with you just my sense, my knowing of our beloved places and the works that's being done by many people of different cultures around the world to preserve not the place, but the memory. Because it's through our memories that we experience, we have experiences. These are experiences that last and endure. Because why? They have meaning. Meaning. Because once we've lost meaning and beauty and purpose of why we are there and where we are, we have truly been displaced. Then it is truly lost. It's lost. So once we bring in meaning and our connectivity and how that may be through the evolution of time, okay, that's all we're here for do. So this is why we're here. We're here because we have a shared purpose, because we have aloha, meaning in where we are, the places that we love, right? The places we love, beloved places, beloved places. I wanted to mahalo you for and all the work for this beautiful story map. I was gifted it before it actually went live. I was asked to share my own connectivity to it, and it's fantastic because it's an opportunity for us, whether it's in the digital world, whatnot. It's the sensories. You can hear Uncle talking about his days of youth. Uncle Peter Baldwin. I used to sit with him. I wasn't a very good friend of his because, there's cowboy country, but a dear beloved friend of his, Eddie Uwe Ko'olani, who worked with him for many, many years as a paniolo, lived right up here, up the road. And I visited him many, many times. And we played music. And Peter would come. And he would sit with his beloved friend. And they would speak Hawaiian. In this video, you'll see him. If you look at the longer videos of the interviews that were done, especially with Peter, he said, I learned Hawaiian. I learned how to speak Hawaiian. And why did he learn how to speak Hawaiian? Because it was necessary. It was necessary. It's because of the people with whom he was with, who he was raised, how he was raised, and who he worked with, who he loved. Okay? So this is an example of how we come together collectively and inclusively in this very, very thrilling time that we're living in. Okay? Yeah, exclusivity, separation is our enemy. It's only inclusivity, only collective transformation. We mutually emerge together. This is what we are. This is where we are. Okay? So we've all come together. Like I said, we're all listening to a little purpose. I'm not going to be too long today, but I just wanted to share a little bit of my own Mōʻike Aloha. I'm going to say this word Mōʻike Aloha. What is that, Mōʻike? Well, Mōʻike comes from, if you look in the Hawaiian dictionary, Anti-Pukui, America Vena Pukui, the epitome of our Hawaiian scholar for the 21st century. She is. I just can't even imagine without her work where we would be, not just as a people, not just as a culture, but as Hawaiʻi at large. She really did bring forward so many things for us for our advancement. I've been in Hawaiian education for 34 years, probably more than that because I was educated by Hawaiian parents, both fishermen from Maui here. My genealogy goes to Pi'ilani. We hear that name a lot. Like, oh, Pi'ilani. What's Pi'ilani? Yes, he was an ali'i nui of Maui, and so we have highways for him. You know, you see a little bit of sometimes you see little things that references Pi'ilani, but this is important, you know. And I'm not going to say that, oh, you know, name a building after the people, but it's these names that hold and endure over time. So where you're going to see, for example, the name of the road, Makawao. But then you go over there and it says Pi'iholo, right? Everybody knows Pi'iholo Road, right? And then Olinda, and everybody goes, what's Olinda? Is that a Hawaiian word? That's a really good question. Could have been, oh, Linda, come on over and have some coffee. I'm still trying to, you know, deconstruct that one with Olinda because this was the beauty of this area of country. Makawao is actually an area, you know, it's kind of like, hey, we go beach. Let's go to the beach. Now, there are many beaches everywhere. And then you get into specificity. Oh, well, let's go to Kalahao. Oh, let's go to Ho'okipa. Let's go to Maliko. Okay? So these are our coastal areas that we would lump in and say, those are beaches. Sure. Okay? Well, it's kind of the same with Makawao. Okay? Because it is the edge of the forest. So you kind of think, well, is the edge of the forest one specific place? It's broader. So it's expansive because the forest is expansive. And then you get the specificities. Kokomo. Oh, what's Kokomo? Well, that's the koa tree rows that you enter. Oh, okay, the specificities. See? So there, find the specificity in the universality. That's what Makawao actually shares us. That's a lesson for us. That we have the general area, but then how over time it has become that specificity. It is the singular in the many, and the many in the singular. And so this is the evolution of our town, Makawao. And we'll find that in every section if we go through if we want to know continuity, like I had said. Mōʻike is a word in in the dictionary that says a description or an interpretation of a dream. Mōʻike. It's an interpretation of a dream. And that's all it says. And as a linguist, and you know, hermeneutics is a study of interpretation, but yes, it's a study of interpretation. But it's also, you know, I'm very acute in languaging, as we all are, actually, because language brings meaning. So when we are in an area that the language of this land and the people in which evolved here to be Hawaiians, our language is your key. It's a greater key. It's a key to open up even more understanding and meaning that is specifically for you. It does not require blood. It doesn't require, your physicality, your ethnicity. No. What it requires is your aloha, your connectivity. That's it. Your understanding. So this is why I say each of us are here. So I'm here to share with you my little mōʻike, and what I have come to bring forward as the continuity of our stories, the continuity of our knowledge, our knowing, why we know what we know. That's the soldiers who came here in world, as they used this area of Hāmākuapoko for their what is that? Not reconciliation, but yeah, R&R, rest and rejuvenation, right? Rest and rejuvenation. And here they came, and it's when they were here, most would think, oh my goodness, they're gonna come in, they're gonna change our whole dynamic of our community. Okay? Most people, when they hear that, they go arms out like this. No, 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 no. Don't change what we have. But Makawao didn't do that. Makawao opened their arms, welcomed them, and Makawao changed. Makawao changed. But it's okay, because change is good. Okay, change is good. They opened their arms. The people opened their arms. Why? Because it's not to protect the place. It's to expand a people, to share. That was the whole basis of everyone who lived here in Makawao, to share knowledge, to share abundance, to share their, what they have to offer and what others have to offer. It's like currency. And I don't like to use money, because that's when you say money, everybody just goes into this whole capitalistic thing and everybody goes like, oh, it's money. Money's the devil. No. We got to look at exchange. What really comes to mind here when I come to Makawao again, because I have driven up this road, up Baldwin Avenue, okay? Sometimes 5 times a day, up and down, for, I would say, the past 30 years. As old as my son. I have 3 children. And, it's interesting when you are really ma'a. It's called ma'a. Ma'a is a term that you just used to it. You're just used to a place, You know the little fire hydrants, and then the little, horse posts that's still there. But then you don't really know it, because you're not really putting in that grokking, like just really, oh wow, is this this is my experience again with the horse post that's right outside across of Komoda Bakery, still there, and everyone, when you pass it, it's like you just kind of assume that that's just kind of like a facade, that's not a real thing. That was just used because Makawao is a Paniolo town. Okay. Well, no, actually, that's actually one of the original horse posts that they used to, tie up the horses, And so this area, for my own self, and I'm sharing my own personal experiences of Makawao, not only includes this particular town that has its very unique identity. It has a very unique identity. But how does this town connect to the larger area known as Hāmākuapoko? Right? So Makawao, like I said, is an area, it's the edge of the forest, right? So when we say the edge of the forest, there's not one edge, okay, right? There's infinite edges of the forest as far as you want to go, around wherever you want to go. So the area of Makawao actually came into very different ahupua'a. So the more traditional ahupua'a of Hāmākuapoko. Hāmākuapoko is actually the moku, or the larger district. You have the island of Maui, and you have 13 moku that was divided, and they're divided by Hanakauhi, which is Haleakalā. So Haleakalā gives that division. And so through that division, this area was named Hāmākuapoko. But we also have another Hāmākua, and that's Hāmākuapoko. So any of you live in Haiku? Yes. So you're in the district of Hāmākuapoko. So Hāmākua is another term that is found on all islands. You can find that term same. Even Makawao, you'll find it in different terms. But it's again the universality to the specific. Every island has a Makawao, but not every island has a Makawao, right? Because this is its people, it's its community, it's its place, people, and spirit. Because the spirit is what actually is going to continue. That's the endurance. That's the Mōʻike, the continuity of what we know is through our spirit and through our people. Because our people pass that forward. But our people past not just their own understanding of themselves, but their relationship to a place. It's that relationship that has brought purpose. Same as all of us here. The reason we are here. You know, there's a purpose why you want to know more about a place you love. That's a purpose. And when you have collective purpose, you have transformation. That means it endures. Makawao has gone through some ups and some downs, unbelievable. I learned so much just going through this. This is amazing. Yet we still are here. So change, okay? Change is necessary. Necessary. But when we look at change, we always think to say, well, you know, we can start with change. Change doesn't start on like spontaneously. It is part of a continuity. It's adaptation, it's resilience. And Makawao is a place of resilience, without a doubt. Let's just deconstruct this, the title of the story map, which is Kikeki Holo Holo, Kuawa, o Makawao. Kikeki Holo Holo, Kuawa, o Makawao. So a keiki holo holo means, we all know what holo holo means, right? Yeah, holo holo. So holo holo, we literally can see holo holo as we're gonna take a cruise. Let's go. Let's get on the horse, let's get in the car. I mean, let's run. I mean, we can use our feet, you know, we're gonna holo holo, we're gonna holo. And, but also holo holo also means to go and gather. You gather. It's purpose. There's a purpose for you going. Just as I had said, started my time with you today with an olikahea to introduce myself that is used for the forest. What is the reason for going to the forest? Maybe you're gonna get some wood. Maybe you're gonna get some flowers. Maybe you're gonna meet someone there that's going to show you or give you knowledge, whatever it may be. There's always a reason to go to a place, whether you're led there or, you know, it's like, well, I just feel something there. That's a purpose. That's a purpose. And we've been so conditioned not to take our feelings and say, you know, no, don't put your feelings away. You know, no, our feelings, when we're led to this place, that's purpose. Yeah. So Makawao, when we enter the forest, for example, we have a purpose. So when we come into anything, for example, that is bringing us a sense of, you know, for example, and when you go into the forest, you go in there to gather. So holo holo is a term. So there's different kinds of interpretations of that. You have the kauna, you have the literal for holo holo, which is to go running around, to kind of go here and there. But the kauna and the noahuna, the kauna is the symbolic or the figurative meaning. And that was a word that was used when you went to gather. When you go up to the forest to gather any kind of kinolau or plants, maybe you're gonna make lei. You don't say, I'm gonna go pick flowers in the forest. Okay, this is a Hawaiian perspective right here. Because everything has spirit. Everything is alive, and Hawaiians know it. We know it. So, would you want somebody to come pick you when you're just having a grand old time with all your little pua? Probably not. So we relate to that in a sense that we are sharing and we're gathering, we're connecting. Same when we go to the ocean. I come from a Loea family. I come from a fishing family. So Paniolo culture and tradition is, I was blessed to have other extended family members who did that. That's why we share. Okay, we got ocean stuff going on over here, yes sir. And then we go up Mauka, we got some Paniolo stuff coming up over here, and we share. It's all about sharing. That's the currency. The currency is sharing. So for holo holo, when we said holo holo in my family, we're gonna go fishing. We're gonna go gather from the ocean. So kekeki holo holo is a child that's going here, ioianei, kind of cruising around, but it's not without purpose. You know, they're just not these vagabonds going, oh hey, here we are. You know, no, they have purpose. There's a reason. There's a reason why you come to the forest. Okay? And then we say kekeki kuawa, holo holo kuawa. Kuawa is like a shower. It's like a shower, right? It symbolizes not the rain, but the actual motion of the rain. It's the motion. It's the weight of the rain. It's the feel of the rain. Not just rain, right? So kuawa is very much like torrentials, okay, like whoosh, like when you step into your shower and the water just constantly hits like that. Shower, kuawa. So when that comes like that, you know, that's a different kind of rain, okay? Not the one that just comes when it's a blue sky and then this little kirinoe just comes like this, but it's the action of the rain, it's the weight of the rain, it's the movement of the rain. So here we have the keiki kuawa. I'm just gonna deconstruct this because this is going to help you really to grok the real essence of this, all the mo'olelo that is in this electric repository, in this electric waiwana. Okay. So the rain, if you're keiki holo holo ike kuawa, that means that you are going in regardless of the weather, in that sense. Regardless. But you're not just going in spite of, you're going in spirit of. Okay? Because I personally do not like to go when it's torrentially raining. We just had some really good rain yesterday, and no, we want to stay inside. Why would we want to go and go running around in the rain unless we want to just have a great time and just laugh? But if this becomes an identity of the people here, that means that they're not doing things in spite of something, they're doing it in spirit of it. That means no matter what, and that is the resilience. That's the resilience that the people of Makawao, the community of Makawao, and the place of Makawao really is a gift to the world. It's a gift to the world. It's the resiliency, the adaptability, the evolution, and the continuation of our story. Because if we don't know our story of before, then we're making our own story. And that's when we are going to be left short. And to do everything we can so that our stories then kind of meld in together, as it has done in the past, when you listen to all the different mo'olelo from all the different races who only had beloved memories to share. Okay? Beloved memories. That is part of the legacy that you have being of this place, and especially if you are bringing purpose and function to this community of Makawao. I am Mauka. I live in Ku'au of Hāmākuapoko. Hāmākuapoko, I'm going to go to the larger now. And the larger Hāmākuapoko, like I said, we have two. We have Hāmākua Loa and Hāmākuapoko. Poko is the shorter one. Loa is the longer one. On the map, I don't know why they call that anyway. I'm thinking it's not so much a geographical thing as it is a resource thing. Resources. And that resource, number one, is water. In this time, right now, the consciousness is aloha and the element is water. So Hāmākuapoko and Hāmākua Loa, which is bordered to Ko'olau, which is where all the water is. This is the area where, you know, Hāmākuapoko, we kind of, not too many streams, but we have a beautiful Oawa, which is a bay. Well, it's a bay, but it's a valley. Okay, for the less of the word, what would you call Maliko? A gulch. I don't like to use gulch. Do you like that word?
You don't gulch the gulch?
Yeah, I'm just saying gulch. You know, like Maliko Gulch. It just doesn't sound right. You know, I mean, and especially in its history, it's been used in areas of industry and it's been used as a dump. And so when I hear gulch, I think, throw it in a gulch because a gulch has nothing. But when you say valley, that kind of changes it. Because a valley then seems like, verdant. There's resources in this place. A gulch just kind of gives you the sense like, there's no purpose, right? So my family comes from Maliko. But we are, like I said, the fishermen. We're fishermen. So from Maliko, the bay. The last of my ohana, my grandmother, was living there in 1930, going up to the 40s, and until the tidal wave came in 1946 and washed out a lot of land that was livable land. And so my grandmother wasn't able to return to Maliko because her land had been washed out, and so she moved up to Ku'au, and in her land there still. I live makai of my grandmother's house, ʻāina, that my father built in 1950. So the area I share this with you is the blessings of the continuity of an area, place. So Maliko actually is considered to be, well, depending on your map, don't look at the Koki frog map. That'll be distressing. It's distressing you see, and it's just all red. I mean, get spots here, red, 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 and then next thing you know, the entire valley of Maliko is red with the Koki, right? So I like to say, it's a hot spot. Maliko's a hot spot. But knowing that Maliko actually ends here in Makawao, or should we say starts here at Makawao, and then goes all the way to the ocean, right? It connects Mauka I Makai. It connects. And that's the actual land geographical features that we have here. We have very specific pu'u, which are cones, cinder cones that we now know. Pu'upane, pu'ualea, okay? So Hāmākuapoko, this area, which means breath of ancestors. We find this in different regions throughout the state. But the kauna of the breath of ancestors is knowledge, is your memories, your history. Hāmākua is your history. And for me, this area, having my great grandmother, my grandmother, my father, my grandmother, my great grandmother, my great 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 great, all those come from this area of Hāmākuapoko. But at one time they were migrants here to this moku. They migrated from due east, from Hana, then eventually moving to areas coming out. And that's just the real succession of people. You move to places that you're led to. You move to places that you feel that this is where I need to be. And sometimes you go, well, I had to go here because this is where my mama stays. So yay. But you're still led there. And so when you're here, you have kuleana. This is your shared purpose. To know your place better. Why? Because the more you know of a place, the more you know about yourself. Then you'll be able to share really who you are. Who you are. Right? So my love for Makawao actually is very expansive, as it's all the way to the ocean, as we're working on bringing vitality and restoration to our waters down at Maliko. Because if you are familiar with Maliko, it's like, ooh, you got some bad press. The water's very polluted. But yet, for the water, like I said, the element is water. For Hāmākuapoko, that source. So when we look at, for example, all these revitalizations of knowledge and ike, we also have to look at the wealth of our areas and the sustainability of them. Yeah? And the cleanliness, like his water flowing from the top of this area, from here, Makawao, to Maliko? No. And then we go, why? And there it begins. There begins your journey. Whatever is leading you to the purpose that you have after we talk today, which I'm almost, take with that Mōʻike, your connectivity to where you are right now. And if you're not from upcountry, you're not Makawao, that's okay. That's okay. Take the spirit of that with you. Because the kupuna that I have been blessed to hear on this, that shared their time and their knowledge, but really what did they share? They shared their aloha for a place. And never ever, that is eternal. There is no ending to that. There is no ending. So it's been a deep pleasure to be here with everybody. to share my own connectivity to this place, Makawao and Mōʻike Aloha, and the stories that continue to live and that we all respond to. So mahalo nui iā ʻoukou pakahi a aloha.